Yeah, man. Leading up to it, well, everything that
could happen.
Yeah. You know, to try and make the trip difficult. People having dreams and visions. But you never could be too careful. We know Hasatan when you always seek for occasion.
You're looking for one.
Yeah. People y'all get together, he get mad. But there's a hedge of protection around us, and it was safe travels. One thing we knew that the Rebirth family did a 40-day fast.
That's right.
Moray Williams and Josh and the Rebirth family was, time of consecration and what we witnessed, when we got there was the result of birthing, something like that in prayer and intercession.
Right.
And so you can't expect nothing less. That's the power of prayer and intercession. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as we recap. On one of the nights, something very significant took place that, everything that the camera caught, it was lit, but there was one night, the camera didn't catch, and it like the Ruach was like, yeah, now I can show out, we'll talk about that a little later, but the one thing that stood out to me immediately was, once I got there, was the excellence of the facilities, what the Rebirth family in New Orleans had prepared, the ambiance. It was, man, it was something, man. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful venue, and I just was full of joy when I walked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can't hear you.
I was full of joy. When we walked in, it was like, man, the place was immaculate. It was big. The coordination, the color scheme. It was beautiful. And so once we set up the equipment and everything, and rushing to get back to the hotels to get dressed and come back. And when I walked up and I got inside the facility, man, to see the volume of people.
Yeah.
And then, usually, when we go, in the day when, before you call on the name of the Most High, you was in the world, and you went to a venue like that, you had to go with alert, okay, the fellas there, everybody grilling each other, everybody mean mugging, but immediately the brothers were like anticipating a greeting, a love, man, with so many ox in the house. It was a sweet. It was Aaron's beard. That's what I've been. That's why I've been hitting on the Facebook. Anytime I saw a picture of the brothers, it's Aaron's beard. Like the dude. And it's in Psalms 133, verses 1 to 3 says, how good and pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together. It's like the oil that was on Aaron's beard, and that's exactly the anointing, the unity, the love. The Ruach was in the place.
Yes, he was.
And from that point on, it was just, it was it. Fire. So,
the Lord say, I got the beach pick car with me. It was in there.
Yeah. So,
I think just, it's funny when we was driving and just seeing all those people out there. They were before they even got in the building, they was doing the shit, my boy. They was just declaring, singing praises unto the Most High, just glorifying Him. It's just amazing because they were outside and they were just building that atmosphere of praise. And then when they got inside, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, when you going to stuff like that, everybody like, who you? What you looking at? Like there was like none of that. It was just like, yo, fam, you fam. People you see on Facebook, like, you walking up to them, I seen you before, you like a star. They look like you like, no, you. And so, man, it was just much love, man. Just the love that was there. You could tell, all the children, everybody looked good in their garments. Everybody looked good in their garments. Boy, I was like,
you had to just choose to be you just had to force yourself to be frustrated, even with some of the challenges. the fellowship and the camaraderie among the family, it just smashed any frustration about things that might not have been what it needed to be. It was like people were just happy to be together at the feast, knowing that we in the will of the Most High. That's right. And that He gonna meet us here. And it was like, man, this is amazing. This is what it supposed to be.
This is what it supposed to be.
This is what it supposed to be.
It's a celebration.
I mean, was it that first day? It was only supposed to be 300, and it was 700 people. More said 700.
700.
Like, wow. I mean,
people came from all. I mean, people on day 4. I mean, like you thought it was gonna let up.
Right.
It was still coming.
It was still coming.
On day 4, you had people from Nigeria. And from Ghana that came all the way to Louisiana to experience the fellowship, the love, and that's what the feast should be. The feast should be a time of just celebration and love. You know, it talks about in Chronicles when they got their brethren back from the north, Asher, some of the other tribes from the northern kingdom. When Hezekiah sent letters. It was like they came back and not all of them came to the feast. But the ones that did, it said it was an innumerable amount of people. Then it said the joy was restored, not as such heard as since the days of Solomon when the foundation was set. And so, you know, hey, Josh, wait, hold on, stay right there. I'm gonna get you on.
Stay right there, Josh. and that's right. That's a good segue because I want to give honor to whom honor is due. That's right. Rebirth leaders, Morris and Cullins, man, it's just a blessing that Most High has gifted the nation with you two brothers, and that you have. And just talking to y'all one-on-one, we know a little bit of your testimony, but just to see you all as our leaders, just stepping out, you know, and manifesting what the Most High has put in your heart for Israel as He's gathering us all. I just want to honor you brothers, man, for the work that you're doing. Absolutely. I mean, the hospitality. The spirit of servants of servitude that on you brothers, man, it just came through the whole event. It just came through, and I really believe that anointing that was on you all it just began to drape the event that night. And so we love y'all brothers, man. We thank the Most High for gifting us with you all and everything y'all do, man. We run a little bit in our experience. And so watching y'all and the level of responsibility that you were carrying, man, I was just like, man, these brothers, you know, I thank the Most High for these brothers. You know, I mean, just you didn't complain. Any challenge that came up wasn't met with complaining like, okay, well, we got to go do this. Let's go.
And you know, the thing about it, they left their wives and everything else, man. And so speaking blessings over the family, man. You know. That's a hard thing, but they understand the assignment and everything else. And so, man, it was
shout
awesome,
out to the wives that at least them, because
Sister Cullins,
only
Sister Christy.
Behind every great ark is a great occulti, huh?
Yes, sir.
Great sister. So we appreciate it.
We appreciate it, man.
Hey, Josh, we trying to get you in here, but I guess your setting must have a setting I can't add you in.
You got that Android. I thought by now he would have went and got my iPhone.
They out there, them agents in the Matrix. They know Josh on the peripheral. They're like, oh, we can't let Josh get in there. Josh, that brother too powerful. We got to keep him locked out.
Hey, but yeah, I mean, it was just a beautiful sight to see. I mean, like you said, everything that could happen happened. Trying to keep. I'm pretty sure some of y'all can testify. Everything that could happen happened. That was trying to keep us from going to the celebration of Passover.
I think Pierre's wife said it the best. I was scrolling through this. She's like, listen, the last 5 months we've been going through, well, it took everything we had to get here, but we was going to get here. And when we got here, there was such a release. Yeah. So, I mean, that's powerful, man. I mean, you know, the Most High knew what He was definitely doing, and Hashatan was mad. I mean,
yes, he was.
Scripture talk about forsaking not the assembly, assembling ourselves, man, coming together, you know. A appointed time, a holy convocation, you know. And you didn't have to worry. You didn't have to worry about no big eyes, little U's. Man, you just come and just celebrate. You're just excited, man. I mean, in the wealth of information that just came across, man, that was mind blowing as always, man. I'm always refreshed. And learning something new or getting stuff that you studied to be confirmed. I mean, man, it's awesome, man. Yeah. All praises to the Most High.
You right, sister.
Yeah, Sister Price, Cody Price. Another thing, like I like to say to the music, you know, as a musician, my transition in music has had a significant journey, and so I'll be transparent about it and leading up to what I want to say, just about L&L tracks and just the artists, the authenticity, the originality. A lot of times what you find in the music industry, you find a lot of sampling.
Right.
You know, and so coming up as a musician, you know, when you're young and you know, you start to learn music and you learn how to mimic what you hear. Sometimes, you know, when you didn't know better, you would sample secular music into songs, and you know, in the gospel music, that's been a big, you know, I feel like it's a compromise now, you know, knowing what I am to now, and learning what I've learned through music, and how music, you know, you can never separate music from its author, the spirit of the author. You can't separate music, even though we say, well, I ain't using it for that, you know. And so a lot of, you know, that night, what we was able to witness was the creativity of Israel and the excellence in production. Lavorne's, man, that brother's humble. You know, I remember when Amir Rada had kind of put out, you know, about, hey man, if you got some music, this the guy Israel need to be holding to. You know, so musicians are like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Man, I went to We the People. Yeah, man, that Kumbaya came on. I said, well, okay, well, hold on now. That brother got some dip on his hip. And then the Shema hit.
Oh yeah.
And I was sold, man. I said, well, who is this brother?
Yeah.
I
mean, the quality of his music was,
yes,
you can tell was excellence, and not only just that, but you can feel the heart of the individual.
Yeah.
And what most people don't know how to do is know people by the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? And immediately after hearing his music, I could tell this brother loves Yah.
That's right.
This brother has written his own and composed his own album.
Yes, right.
And he's skillful. He's dedicated to his craft, and he's gonna put excellence. He's using his gift to push other people.
That's right.
And I say, anybody like that, Most High bless them.
That's right.
I mean, so shout out to Lord L&L. Listen, L, hey man, keep doing what you're doing. Listen, we coming.
Hey, Benjamin, you can pull Morris on.
Hey,
Morris is one.
If Morris, if you're on, we're gonna try to bring you on. I know you said call you for a certain time, but if you're good, just let us know. But but yeah, man, we enjoyed. Enjoyed it all. I mean, from day one, you know, it just like went from here to here. It just kept, and the people was like, they didn't need no pumping and priming. Like the people were like ready.
Yeah.
Like we finna praise Most High. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
What you gonna do?
Little kids looking at us like, well, okay, y'all ready? Let's go. And so shout out to Rebirth, man, and everything that's being done in Israel. You know, we all just one big family, and it's awesome to see what the Most High is doing with the Spirit amongst. Okay, there he is. Hey, Mo, if we can bring you on, just let us know. If not, it's cool. But
He'll be.
Go try to do it now.
he'll be on. Okay, let me try. Hold on.
Another thing too, man. You know, I'm really grateful to Yah for the voices that he's raising up right now. And I mentioned this the other night in the pre-cap. Just the humility, the amount of information, the amount of data, the amount of research that, you know, they have put in to supporting the scriptures and prophecy.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know, Benaiah, I mean, just his presentation and the information that he had. I mean, it was stuff like I've heard people talk about the Inquisition, but the details and the events and things that he was able to share was just, and you said it the other night, Benjamin, like, I don't know what the world's gonna do. It's like, that's right. What are they gonna do with this? This is documented events. And we're Israel. We're just grateful that the Most High is raising up these men that have the access and the spirit of Yah upon them to be able to to go out and find and search out these facts. And I mean, from Brother Benaiah to Dalton, Ron Dalton. We all know Ron Dalton is shaking foundations right now with his groundbreaking research and things that he's bringing forward.
That he said, Christian doctor, so-called Dr. Eric Mason, decided to say, hey, we putting a Black Christian pastor association together to try to debunk your information. He said, bring it. And it's funny, man. I'm the same way, man. Come on, bring it, man. The scriptures can't be broken in the end, man. And so
the truth ain't on nobody's side.
It ain't.
The truth is on his own side. We gotta conform to the truth.
You know what you said the other night. Joshua standing for the
all right, what we got?
Shoot, got more.
But when you say, I mean, we already been, deep into this information. But just to for someone to come back and give you, I mean, you're going through books of history,
right?
And this stuff is in books, man.
Yeah.
This stuff is telling you, listen, this is what we did. This is what we changed. Yeah, the Negroes, they were the Jews. It's just it's like there. And like, I'm like, man, if this ever gets out on a mass scale, the world is in trouble.
Yeah.
So, it just refreshed. I'm definitely going back and hitting up shout outs to Benaiah Israel.
Yes,
much love to you, Issachar.
What was it?
Gilbert from Ghana. Ron Dalton. I mean, much love. I mean, information that's getting ready to come out right now. I mean, like I say, it's one thing for you not to know, but right now, in the age we living in, it's just too much information in the world for you to just stay in. Mm-hmm. Like for me, like, I heard it in the beginning, like it didn't really matter, but like something in you to a certain point, I ought to be like, let me actually go look it up and see what they talking about. Is this true? And that's what a real Berean does. Yeah. A Berean, when he hears something, he don't just take it. That's right. And I don't expect anybody that is in this walk or in this life to just take what people tell you. That's right. I expect you to scrutinize everything. Yeah. And say, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna go back and study for myself. When I study for myself, I'll come to my own conclusions. And that's what we all gotta do. But our testimony, we done looked it up. And
no, we tried to disprove it, bro. That's the thing about it. Most people don't understand. I know I did. I was like, no, this ain't true.
I don't know how the world gonna disprove what Benaiah was bringing. Benaiah brought out so much information that on day 2, he's like, it's impossible. He's like, for them to, they wouldn't be debunking me. They'd just be debunking what their own books say. Yeah, right. And so, I mean, I'm not talking about one little piece of information that you got on Black people being the Jews. I'm talking about you got a whole library of books that talk about the voyages of what they did to the Negroes who were the actual Jews, the actual descendants. It's crazy. I'm like, what is stuff been hiding there? He's like, hey, they said, you want to hide anything from Negroes, you put it in a book. Man, this is crazy. But I mean, shout out to Benaiah. Listen, if y'all get a hold of that brother, tell him we send our love to Berean Council.
Where is Benaiah? If anybody know where he's based at, let us know. Let us know.
Shout out to everybody on the lines doing it for Israel. I mean, it's a lot of brothers out there. I know that you may not have no name. People may not know if you keep doing what you're doing because it's helping us. Put out every YouTube video you can. Right. Put out every research you can on the web because it's helping people come to a better understanding. People, sometimes people, they'll be willing to ignore it for a while. But you can't ignore it for too long because your children, I'm telling you right now, your children gonna get a hold of it. That's right. If they don't get it, their children's children will get a hold of it. Somebody gonna get a hold of it, of your son, your daughter. So, keep your head up, keep your game up.
Hey, Sister Janae.
Hey. All right, how that baby doing?
Missed you. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. Come on and Lead the charge. Lead the way.
Tierra's on here, the psalmist.
Yes. Seven Tiger Lily.
Yeah, Tiger Lily.
That's Tierra.
Okay.
Hey, Tiara's a singer, bro.
He was.
I told him, he keeps saying,
Tierra's got his own where he really but sometimes when you minister, you know, sometimes you got to minister past, you know, the non-response sometimes, like, you know, and, you know, people they listening, but you can say Tierra shifted. He shifted, and you know, you can tell he began to really, they call it the Selah. You know, if you know anything about the Book of Psalms, wherever there's a Selah, not only does it mean like pause, like some we think say pause to think about it, but it's actually musical notation. Yeah. And what it means is that a lot of times in the songs, especially in gospel songs, they have that turnaround. Yeah. That turnaround is like you sing that part again. Yeah. And sometimes they get good, you stay right there. Yeah. That's the same. So when David musicians was hitting that note and they got to the right place and it sounded good, stay right there. Stay right there. That's what that Selah means. So that kind of what Tierra's went into. He went into that Selah. He got into that zone and was like, yeah, stay right here. And it's at that place where people can it's like it becomes like a portal. Yeah. You can access the presence of the Most High. You know, and so psalmists, musicians, and worship leaders, minstrels, they have to understand that, and they have to help people break through the veil of the flesh. Right. You know, and so I tell Tierra what he did. That was, I was like, yep, stay right there. I know exactly. That, you know, Benjamin, he knows we ain't going nowhere. We're gonna stay right here till it get good to you. Touch God in the fire. And so, but it's good, man. It was beautiful, and a lot of, and they didn't require any pumping and priming. It really did. The people were willing, and it was just the deliverance as well. I mean, you were watching the young people just break under the power of the Most High. They was over there. We just praising our heart, and you couldn't get everything from the camera. I bust out. I want to get everything. But it was amazing, man, to see like true praise brings deliverance. You know, when you magnify, when you exalt Him, He inhabits. He's gonna come and bring deliverance to people. You know, it's people that my boy Craig was on drums. He told me, it was like, man, listen, I couldn't stop crying. I just was crying. I just couldn't stop crying. He's like, man, the power of the Most High was so powerful in that praise and in that worship that I just could not stop crying. And you know, not just him, but just other people that you saw just taking their liberty. And as the text says, that where the Spirit of Yah is, there is liberty. Yes. And anytime you see people have the some people they weren't necessarily raised in that. Mm-hmm. They cold, rigid, ain't gonna move looking at you like what you doing. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, I mean, from the front as far as I could see to the back, it was lit up in there, but it was fire.
It's amazing because if you think about the presence of Yah, and this is just something that we're reclaiming through the awakening as we turn back, but worshiping the Most High to the Israelites was synonymous to overcoming. It was like when the worship and the praises of Yah went forth, they knew to expect victory in the battle. Yeah. And I think sometimes even in this age that we're in now, you know, as we're being restored as a people, there are things I believe in our families and in our lineage that's being mended in the presence. There are things that you're heaping up now in the presence of Yah that we don't even realize because of what His presence does. It comes to bring victory. It comes to bring healing. And Josh said it so good, you know, when he was exhorting the first night. He was like, listen, the whole purpose of this is for us to meet the Father here. Right. That's the whole, whatever you need, He's going to meet us here to meet that need. Right. And so it's just, I believe that the best really is, I know that's cliche, but there are some deliverances that we've yet to even realize that are being secured now as we return and most importantly, as we get into His presence as His people.
And what you also got to understand about when you come before the presence of the Most High, you never come before the presence of the King empty-handed. That's right. Torah, well, there were many sacrifices that had nothing to do with breaking the Torah. That's right. It's a free will offering, right? You know, it could be the grain offering, whatever. But on this side, what Mashiach has done, we know we ain't finna come with no lamb or no goat. We ain't finna come with no, you know. You probably, if you wanted to, you probably could. I don't even know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But
see, that's what made David. We're going to my boy again. See, going to my boy again. That's what made David so unique. Right? Is because David, he said, sacrifices and burnt offerings thou wouldest not, but I will bring you the sacrifice of praise. Right? And so David, he goes in. Now Israel had known of praise. You know, Miriam did their thing when they was coming out of Egypt, so it wasn't necessarily foreign. But I believe King Dawid, he took it even a little bit further. Yeah. I mean, he went in, and it said that he would not even rest until he found a place the ark to rest. He said, I'm not going to shut my eyelids until, send me real quick. Okay, I'm going to send you one right now. He said, I'm not going to shut my eyelids until I find a place for y'all to rest. And that's a part of what the restoration of Israel is right now, is that he wasn't restoring any other tabernacle but the order of David. Right? And what's written about Dawid was, I have found a man who will do all my will. Right. David had a lot of things he messed up in his life. But one thing he knew how to do. And when he messed up, he went in worship. After he got through slinging heads off, cutting, chopping, and killing folks, what he did? He went in worship. He went and wrote a song. When all them people's lives got smashed, all his loved ones, his friends, he got all his people family stolen. What he did, they blamed David. Man, you got all our family taken away. He encouraged himself and went and worshiped the Most High. So worship is not something that is foreign. It is something that is in our DNA. It's in our bloodline. It's not. And as I was saying there, worship is not. There is no patent on it. Like church ain't got a patent. Now, what I was gonna say, what I was gonna add on to this part was that you didn't just become Israel when you found out you were Israelites. Right. You are always Israelites. Right. And you can't despise where the Most High has brought you, because it's like growing up. The mathematics and the systems that you learn growing up, you don't just throw that all away. That's right. All those things that you learned in grade school help get you where you are. Now, I'm not saying you. All right, bring more song. Okay, y'all put something right there. We finna come back today. Mo say, I'm ready right now. Y'all bring me on. Y'all talking too good.
We want Israel to be encouraged. Listen, don't despise the things that get done to us, because of a system that we've been in.
Hey, y'all go.
Hey, what's going on? Can y'all hear me? Gotta turn on that light up. I'm dark 30 over here. Dark 30. I have to turn that light on so y'all can see me. Y'all can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can everybody hear me?
I'm just jumping on. I don't know what area y'all was on.
Hey, we was talking about
Y'all talking about what? Y'all talking about praise?
Oh, we're talking about the power of worship. What how it's beyond constructs. It's beyond no one gets to claim. What praise and worship is. And so Israel,
yeah, that's right, man. That's right. I mean, it go back to what he originally called us for, man. He said, I called you to be a praise and a glory in the earth. It ain't like something that we have. It's something that's built in us and is in our DNA. We are praise. We don't have praise. We are praise itself. So when you are something, naturally, it's going to come out of you. You know what I'm saying? And like when he called Israel to be the leaders in all these things. So like we were saying before, that it don't matter that, okay, because what people do, they want to put the Israelites as a religion. So they want to say, okay, well, Christianity, they got the praise, and Israel just about PowerPoints and teaching. But it ain't that. It ain't that. It just is. From the beginning, we've been praising, right? And what we've been called to do is to praise and worship. So you can't make that about just church and just people that just doing that. That's something that we ushered in from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That nobody got a patent on. The only one got a patent on that is the Most High. Because they was doing it in the heavenly host before anybody was born, you know? So it's important for us to spearhead that and bring that back forth, and especially the men, man. We got to get out of this, you know, trying to be hard, and I don't know what we trying to think we do, thugs for the Most High. Nah, bro. Most High gonna break your behind down. He gonna break you down, man, break you to your knees. And it's no greater man than a man that can sit before the Most High, cry out, like all the men that was at Passover, man, crying with hands lifted up. You know, the men was the ones that led the praise, man. So we got to get back to that and start back pushing that, man, because it'll soften our heart up the way it's supposed to be more sensitive to the spirit, man. But it's like, but you can tell, man, when it's somebody dominion, like Benjamin Banks. That's that boy dominion, man. That's his dominion, man. It's in him. Every year, Passover, he bring us something else that we chanting even after Passover. At first, it was, he is the Most High. And boy, this year, if y'all be for us, I don't know what he gonna do in 2020. I don't know what he gonna do, man. I don't know what he gonna do. But to see that everybody come with a spirit of praise and a spirit of worship, and it's really like reconstructing the mold, because when people think about Israelites, they think about people with uniforms on the sideline, hollering, fussing, and cussing, but they don't make the mold of what an Israelite is. The Israelite is what you see in the scriptures. That's what an Israelite is. It ain't about what you see on the corner. You got to go back to the book if you want to know what it is, and it ain't a religion. It's something that he established from the beginning. Yes, sir. So I always tell people, don't try to put me in a category and ask me what I identify as. That's my ethnicity. That's what I am. That's what he called me to be. Right. I'm not no Christian. I'm not no Muslim, not no Islam. I'm not no black Hebrew Israelite. Right. My ethnicity is the Israelite. That's what my ethnicity is. And my nation is Hebrew. So that's what I am. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like we got to get out of that mindset where we trying to make Hebrew Israelite another denomination. Yeah. We got to get out of that. There ain't no denomination. That's right. There's one way. That's right. There's one way in what he gave us to do and gave us to follow. So, that's what we got to get back to, man. And it's great to see Israelites praising, worshiping, and going crazy like we're supposed to be doing, man. Like we're supposed to be doing. Because I tell people all the time, man, the Israelites weren't quiet, man. I had people on YouTube trying to tell me, y'all too loud. Y'all too loud. Y'all sound like the church. Bro, that's what, ain't no Israelite was quiet, man. We was always hollering out and crying out with a voice of triumph and singing and shouting. And shouting wasn't bucking like that right there. That wasn't shouting in the scriptures. Shouting was lifting up your voice, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Most High gave. He said, make a joyful noise. When you look that joyful up, it's a war cry. Yeah. And all us been given an individual sound that the Most High want to hear when we together. That's why you can't forsake the assembly, man, because your sound won't be there. You know, and you bring all those sounds together as one unit, and then call it the sound of rebirth, man, it's gonna make the Most High do something like he ain't never did before. So everybody got a voice that the Most High want to hear because he created us to be a praise, man. So that's how we should be praising. That's how we should be worshiping. Because I tell people all the time, Yahusha is not going to be in the kingdom doing no PowerPoints, man. He ain't gonna be sitting there doing no PowerPoint presentation, man. You're going to have to be on your knees and praising and worshiping him, man. That's what it's going to be. So we got to get in the right mindset now and quit thinking, making that something that is not. Making that something that is not.
I think we destroying that concept.
You said what?
I think we destroying that
Yes, sir.
It's amazing. As I was seeing men pray, I was noticing the children mimicking the father. That was powerful. You know, one thing
I'm telling you, man.
You see that man start magnifying, everybody else, the whole family is falling right in line.
I'm telling you, man. And
nation of praise. As the scriptures say, we were created to praise the Lord.
Exactly. That's right. That's why I don't care what I don't care what no Negro say.
Don't have to pack no praise and worship. Praise and worship is biblical. Forget all that. It's been biblical from the beginning.
That's right. That's right, man. So it's just like that's why I say I don't care what no Negro say, man. When we come together, we're going to have our hands lifted up, saying what the Most High going to do, how he going to lead. And when I seen them children, man, them children crying with their hands lifted up, and the Most High just touching them, man, ain't no way in the world you going to tell me that ain't biblical or that's church. Like, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy, man.
This previous wound that has been upon his Most High is literally beginning to heal that wound.
That's right.
He has wounded us, but he will bind up our wounds. And so that's what's happening. That's why in this season of the return, what we have to nation is that it was always in his presence. It was always being that ark of the covenant. They want to prosper in anything that they want to prosper. So it's in like manner. And so it's upon him that belonged to him. His womb and all these scars that the result of it. So the Most High can heal us and restore us.
Man, that's powerful.
This is an awesome feel and a sense of peace to see what the Most High is doing among our people. It's almost without words. It's almost without words. It's like the words doing the midst of us.
That's right, man.
It's outside of what I mean by that. What I mean by that is all the kids on the season of the earth, they're going to see the praise and worship.
Wow.
Praise and worship is always beyond.
Well, that's powerful.
Praise and worship, that gives the word continue in the ultimate people we live forever. It's always forever. So we all can participate in this particular that's how we magnify him. We magnify him. He gets magnified. He gets glorified. So
I'm telling you.
When he gives you a weapon, you only can offer. You only can offer to the Most High what you provide.
That's right.
You can't provide anything to the Most High.
That's right, man. That's right. And then notice this, man. Cause we still ain't got the right concept of what praise is. That's why I always say our ancestors, right? The 12 tribes, right? If they see the condition that we living in, they would be thrown back on how easily we allow things to happen. This is what I mean. Why before you finna go to war, you bringing out people to praise.
That's right.
That don't even make sense.
That's right.
Yeah. Before you finna fight a battle, you bring it in Judah to praise. So it's something connected to praise, that warfare that we ain't tapped into.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that you doing has a spiritual connotation to it. We just think it's nothing. Even when you clap your hands, it's a sound happening. And once you get under the revelation of it, you are shifting things in the atmosphere. When you speak, waving your hands is creating things, man. When we realize how spiritual we are, and rather than living in the natural realm, we'll start surpassing things, right? We'll start surpassing things, and the Most High will be able to use our hands and use our limbs and use our voice in order to bring about changes in situations. You see what I'm saying? Praise is on a whole nother level than just getting excited also too. Once we get strategic with it and understand what we're doing, ain't not gonna be able to stop us, man. Ain't not gonna be able to stop us. But we got to get out of the concept of, well, that's church. Because some people, if they make it, can you imagine somebody sitting in the kingdom when the 24 elders before the throne cast their crown
day and night,
and they looking up and saying, what y'all doing? That's church. You gonna be up there with the Most High telling him that what they doing up there is church, man. So it's just like, y'all, people got to get out of that mentality. And I think the Most High is raising up a people that's going to give him the praise, and that's going to shift atmospheres through praise and through worship, man. They're going to be able to break things. Once we get that mentality that the Israelites had back then, when you look at Judah, who we descend from, right? And look at the confidence that he had, man, we'll fall away from that confidence.
Yes, sir.
You know, he told Joseph, if you don't give me my brother, he said, I'm going to shut the whole city of Egypt down in a night. Yeah. And was dead serious.
They wasn't playing.
They ain't play no games, man. We the one playing. But it's something they knew it wasn't about them, but they knew it was the covenant they had with the Most High that gave them that power. And that's why I tell people, man, it's okay to study who you are. That's good. But you got to go back and understand your covenant. Right. Because in your covenant, that's where your power is from. That's where your anointing is from. Right. That's where your protection is. Once you understand what a covenant is from an Eastern perspective, the way they understood it, and then the way that the Most High gave us, that's why every time they prayed, they would say, I'm doing this, and I'm calling on the Elohim of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob. They would always reference things back to the covenant. And when you look at the Most High, he do the same thing. He don't do it for your sake. Yeah. He said, I'm going to do this for my name's sake, or for the covenant. Yeah. When you're in the land of your captivity, right, and you turn back unto me, he said, what? It's going to make me remember what? Not you. It's going to make me remember the covenant that I made with your fathers, because everything that you are and you need is in that. But if you don't study it, then the true power and what he originally designed to have for you can't flow, because you're ignorant to it. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we only got some results in what we was doing before. You see what I'm saying? Y'all hold on. I got to drop off some pampers to my mama because she watching the baby. So y'all continue on. I come back to bring y'all these pampers.
Oh, I was wondering who that was. Lord, look at this car.
I'm cheering.
I was wondering who that was parked in front.
Now I got you something to eat.
Did you forget to? You got the sippy cup? Sippy cup?
Nah, the sippy cup.
Uh-huh.
I ain't got no sippy cup. The children supposed to get all that done.
Lord, have mercy.
Just give her a cup, mama. Just give her a cup to drink.
But do she take a cup to go to sleep with?
No, she don't sleep with no sippy cup. She go to bed.
That pacifier.
Yeah, that pacifier she'll go right on
I
the
don't
bed.
need them things.
And if you want some honey mustard.
Good wings and things.
No, they was close.
Oh, where you going from?
A-Town.
A-Town wings.
They plain.
You could have got one.
That ain't good for your pressure.
What you got me? What you got me, boy? I got you plain fried wings.
Plain wings. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my mama.
Hey, man. I thought we was doing
Blood pressure already high. But yeah, man, Passover was off the table. All of these people, they pray. Everybody just build in their own demand what the Most High gave them, man. It's just a beautiful thing to see. Now he's bringing us together.
That's what's up.
All right, fam. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank you for sharing again. We back. Sorry about that disconnection. It was live and then it got disconnected. Let me see. Was Morris back on?
Why we got to work? Something.
He might be gone.
Colors can't get on?
Colors, you can make it?
But that Android, no problems.
Oh, goodness.
Just pick what we left out of our praise. But I mean, yeah, what he was saying about
a full revelation of it, when we really understand how to strategically. That's what Mo was saying.
Morris was saying that when we fully understand who we are, as it relates to the covenant, you don't struggle with the praise aspect of it, because that is as we say who you are. It's not something you're trying to do.
That's right.
Praise is not something that you are trying to do. It's who you are. It's in your DNA. It's who you're created to be. When you look at
right, Tierra.
Jehoshaphat, next year we need to do a full night praise and worship.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. When you look at Jehoshaphat, he goes in to fight. And when he goes in to fight, he sends the praisers out before he fights, and the enemy ends up, this wasn't no spirit spookiness. This actually happened. These jokers went out with drums and jars and started saying, "For the Most High is good, and His mercy endures forever." And the enemies were afraid by their praise.
That's right.
And they begin to kill themselves. And so
Paul and Silas too. Being in prison.
Paul and Silas.
We done heard it so much in the
Paul,
church. Paul and Silas.
But see, that's the trigger. Is that when you hear it in church,
yeah,
it's like you've done it. And so when people come to events, sometimes it's kind of like,
oh, it look like
triggers. They mind they can't do it. Hands were lifted. They did. Don't lift your hands. Don't lift your hands. Don't lift them.
But I think it's safe to say that what you got to understand about this whole process is Yah preserved the remnant.
That's right.
And He couldn't let us be utterly destroyed. Had we not any of the things that were associated with us as a people, there would have been no agent in place to preserve us.
Right.
And so just because the system that we were under was one that was used to oppress us,
that's right.
It was Yah the whole time preserving us in the midst of all that.
That's right.
And so now we got a reason. We turn it back to this covenant.
That's right.
We got to access and begin to embrace those things that were given to us in the covenant that rightfully belong to us.
That's right.
And that make us who we are.
Right.
And so, but you're right. You're so right. I mean, when you've been traumatized by anything in your life, when you see anything associated with that trauma, you're like, oh, no.
Turn it off.
Cut it off.
And it kind of go back to what Benai was talking about when they brought the slaves. I think what I forgot what island it was, but they took all the children.
St. Thomas?
Yeah, they took all the children. And so when you take a child from its infancy stage and you strip them from the teachers the elders, the mom and the dad that have the history, and you raise them under the banner of Roman Catholicism and in Christianity and all these different constructs that were given to us, well, that's all they know.
Yeah.
And so for however long, 300, 400 years of us being in those constructs, what Hashatan meant for our evil, yet because the DNA is built in us,
Right.
the frequency between Israel and the Most High was always going to be intact. That's why he said the gifts and callings of the Most High without repentance.
That's right.
And so he put those, we're for signs and for wonders, in the earth. And so in the fullness of time, through these constructs, we would still have praise and worship.
That's right.
It was what caused the Most High to still come in, even though the construct was out of ignorance. He still graced us with his presence until the fullness of time. When now he woke us up, he's bringing us out.
Here's the thing, Byron. Praise and worship, man, not only is a weapon, but it was always a source of strength. Think about our ancestors. And we see movies, hey, kumbaya, all these things, or in the midst of great tribulation and turmoil, they always had a cry, and they was just always just to get through a day. I mean, talk about from sun up to sundown, they were working, they were working even on the Sabbath, man. They was forced to work and forced to labor, but they always maintained their praise, which was a source of their strength. And so, I mean, that's once you get out of the narrative, you start looking at scriptures and you look at praise. It's a weapon. It was a source of their strength. It was a way to access Yah. It's praise and worship was a way to connect to the heart of the Father. The praise, I said it earlier, Benjamin, that Psalms 149, praise calls you to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and to bind up the kings and their nobles, and then when you look into the scriptures on other places in Psalms, it's talking about we were created for that.
That's right.
And so it's just like once you start looking at that, you like, man. And so I know we look at the gospel industry and they just abusing it. I just said the punk get up there, praise him, come on, and man, the Most High is looking for a praise that's out with a pure heart. And when my kids see me praise Most High, hey, I'm like, get your hands up, because my hands up. I'm finna magnify him. So just never being afraid of that. And like I said, man, Christianity ain't got the patent on this. I said this last year. I said Christianity ain't got the patent on this. Praise and worship is not Christianity. That's Bible 101.
Right.
And whether thou be an Israelite, whether thou be part of the 12 tribes, or whether thou be a Gentile getting engrafted in because they believe in Yahushua, like, praise is a commandment. That's what most people don't understand. That it's a commandment. You can't, he said, let everything that have breath praise ye Yahuwah. Like, you ain't got no option. Like, when David was like, hey, let's go set this up. All right, when I tell y'all finna get started, you know what I'm saying? You finna magnify going around the walls of Jericho, just like y'all shut up. When the Most High tell me to speak, I'm gonna tell y'all when to shout. I'm gonna tell y'all when to blow this trumpet. And that's powerful.
Even so, we return, as we're returning back to the covenant, it just gets better because it's not that you're putting on anything anymore. You're actually living a bit more. You're becoming, you're expressing that praise in your everyday, your everyday life. It's expressed through, as you talk to your sons and daughters. I put my daughter to bed. Every night before I put her to bed, I say, we did a Shema. Daddy, you do Shema, you do Shema. So I say, all right, come on, say it. Shema Israel, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. And just rehearsing it, as Deuteronomy says, you ought to teach your children when they wake up in the morning, and when they go down to sleep at night, and when I'm rocking her to sleep, just saying, Hear, O Israel, Yah Elohim is one. Hear, Israel, Yah Elohim is one. Hear, Israel. It's good to hear her say it, but she'll wake up understanding and knowing that, man. And although we've had it always in us through church and things like that, is as you return into the covenant, it starts to get even better. You think that you know praise. You really know it when you start to keep His commandments. And you start walking after His ways, and you learn what your culture is. You start tapping into the heart of your culture. You know what I'm saying? And not just
with an understanding.
That's right. That's right. That's what I will praise him according to my understanding. And so, I mean, just even seeing, I mean, shout out to Issachar and his wife. I mean, y'all was getting down. I saw the clip.
Well, Issachar wasn't playing.
Issachar and his wife, they was going in, but it was like, shout out to all my co-T that was out there. And sisters, listen, y'all can sing. We starting a choir next year.
Oh, you in trouble now? Oh, they got a choir
now. Going back to the church.
We know what a choir comes.
You know, David put the choir. He put the choir before, you know, the tabernacle.
But there's so many things that we seek sometimes to get through teaching. Like when you go in Chronicles and the priests were entering by their courses.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they begin to declare that Yah's good, His mercy endure forever. I mean, the cloud descended.
That's right.
They couldn't stand the minister.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole purpose is that the Most High will come and meet us and minister to us. You know, it's the equivalent of Israel wanting a king when Samuel's trying to tell them the Most High is your king. You know, and so, you know, He knows what we need, and what we need is Him and His presence, and the things that we're desiring to see happen in our lives, the healings, the understanding of our family members that are still estranged from the covenant. You know, Yah can turn this thing. He is turning this thing. And we just got to be diligent to press into Him, into His presence, unashamed, unrestrained, and just watch the transformation and the healing take place.
I mean, to kind of deal with Christianity for a second, and when when we start talking about in light of praise and worship, you know, because I've been in moments in service where, you know, the Most High pressed upon my heart. I was changed.
That's right.
However, like I said, our upbringing was way different.
That's right.
So there were a lot of constructs that we did not have to worry about. There was a level of sanctification that the men of y'all in our house, if you were doing something wrong, you got to sit down. You can't minister. You know, you got called in the act. You're gonna sit down for a year. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so those things were pleasing, but yet there's like I tell the leaders, you know, at the fellowship, like there's always a come up hither.
Yeah,
it's more high, like sanctify yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so what's happened now is that the large construct of Christianity, when you start talking about the musical artists and everything that they've done, it kind of reminds me of Moses is getting the 10 Commandments, and in the midst of it all, the Most High was like, yo, people down there, wilding out. Yeah. You know, they offering up all kind of things. And so if you go, I'll go to it real quick, but it's in Exodus 32. I want to turn this into Bible study, but I do want to prove my point into that praise apart from righteousness. Yeah. We're going to have a problem.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? In Psalms it says, who can ascend into the hill of the Lord?
Right.
He that has clean hands and a pure heart, not lift up the soul. So there is a prerequisite into approaching the Most High.
That's right.
Most of the time, he told Israel, sanctify yourselves.
That's right. Yeah.
Purify yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Moses, we want to hear God for ourselves. We want to hear the Most High for ourselves. We don't want to have to go through you. All right. Okay. This is what the Most High told you to do. And then they did all that and got to the mountain and they said, "Roo," and they're like, we ain't got it. We don't want it. You got it. But
you speak to us, Moses.
Yeah, in this Exodus 32, in verse 7, it says, and Yahuwah said unto Moses, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. All right, your people. All right, they have turned aside quickly out of the way.
That's right.
Which I commanded them. They have made them molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed thereunto and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Let's pause. What has happened under this construct of Christianity? All type of paganism is going on.
That's right.
We're going to sing Christmas carol on Christmas. You know, we got a song for every season, you know, and we think because our identity is in Yeshua, like they say, you know, that faith. We got faith in Yeshua, and that don't matter. So they're doing all these things, and Yeshua said, in vain you worship me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Teaching for the what? The commandments of men.
Right.
So that's what we're seeing. And so, and then you get down to it where, you know, you get further down. Joshua get down there and he tell Moses, hold on, my phone glitching. Watch out. Joshua, he run up to the mountain to get close to Moses. This is what he tell him in verse 17. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moshe, there is a noise of war in the camp. Almost like confusion.
That's right.
And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery. Neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome.
That's right.
But the noise of them that I sing. Recreation.
Yeah.
To have no purpose in why they're singing. Although they appear that they're doing it because they're outside of righteousness and they have broke the commandment and they're outside of the covenant, the Most High don't hear. He said without love, your singing is what? Right. What is love? Yeshua said, if you love me, you do what? So now all your singing is what? Just tinkling brass.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. And so when we praise, we got to make sure, and we worship, that our life is pleasing before Him.
No, Byron, I was praising and I felt something. But here's the problem with feeling. You can feel, but if you don't feel to a transformation and a change,
that's right.
Like I know just within my so-called Christian walk, I'll be praising Most High. Now I was sin, I was transgressing. I didn't know they do law, but I was sin.
Because law was done away with.
Law was done away with. But I was sin, and it'd be like, I know, I know I say I love you, but my life is saying something different, and so I'd be like, I'm gonna do everything I can do to praise Him, and Most High like, listen, you gonna repent first.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Then you can come off of a pure praise. But I need you to repent. I need you to be broken. I need you to have tears of repentance. I need you to have a heart that's really sorrowful and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's what praise should do.
That's right.
You know, if you come into a company and an atmosphere where people are praising, you say clean hands, PR, and you come in there and you bound or you in addictions and any of these things, you come into an atmosphere of praise where the Most High's presence is, that's what it should really do. It should loose you. But if you can, we see it in church, you get in, pray, you do all this, and then you go out and go knock the head of a chick off, or you just go do whatever, Then what was that? What was that praise for, man? And it's just, I ain't afraid to lift my hands, magnify the Most High, Yah. Like I be like, when I give a praise, I'm like strong with it, Like ain't no old punks tooting their butt. I ain't none of that, man.
Yeah, you definitely should be changed when you come in His presence, and and that's twofold. The people who are leading you in the praise and worship could be doing it right. They could have done what they were responsible for doing. But everyone has to have a responsibility to come before His presence the right way.
Yeah. We are a kingdom of priests.
That's right. That's right. And so what happens is not just predicated on the worship leaders. You got to bring an offering. You got to bring a pleasing sacrifice. You can't bring the offering that Cain brought. The works of your own hands.
That's right. That's good.
But you got to bring what Abel brought. A sacrifice the Most High is pleased with you. That's right. He gave, you tried to bring the works of your own hands when give me an animal. I created an animal. You give me back what I gave you. You know what I'm saying? And so, that I think those are the things that we have to know as we move forward and, be ready, man, to bring an offering. That's the Pesach. The whole reason, one of the biggest things that we can do in our assemblies and our convocations is to have praise and worship.
What is Philippians or Ephesians where Paul was exhorting people to sing hymns, sing praises. Colossians, sing hymns and praises to the Most High. He was encouraging that. That's like that's just something that whenever we get together. It ain't got to be assembly of 20. It can just us four coming together. Hey man, let's get the time. I do it in my morning with my kids. But I be remixing so many songs, put the name in there. Okay, all right, kids, we're gonna say Yahuwah. This is how you say it, Yahuwah. Now, it's just but like I said, it's a returning thing. But it's like in the morning, dropping my kids, man. We singing the songs in the morning, and I'm, my son's hitting his knee in the back. Like, that's it. Let's go, So
it's in your bones, and that's one thing we're trying to do. We want Israel everybody to know. I mean, we've always praised. I mean, that's not an issue with us. But now that we return to the covenant, it's so important that we understand why we do what we do, and that your life is steady conforming to the expectation of the Most High as it relates to us as a people, as a nation. Praise spotlights. Yeah, it spotlights the Most High. It's not about us, but it's all about Him and what He's doing. So praise, praise is something.
I mean, E brings out a powerful scripture. I was looking at it. In Jonah 2, just looked at it, and it's about when Jonah was in the well and he cried out.
Yeah.
You could be in a situation where you have transgressed.
Yeah.
Most High then gave you some things. This is the power of prayer. And it don't say that Jonah worshiped. They said that he gave thanksgiving. Now we don't understand the power of thanksgiving.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So I'm gonna read the precept. He says, now it says, I went down. This is Jonah 2, verse 6. I went down to the bottoms of the mountains, and the earth with her bars was about me forever. Yes, hast thou brought my life from corruption, O Elohim, O Yah, my Elohim. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered Yahuwah.
That's right.
All right. And my prayer came in unto thee into thy holy temple. Now here, they that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. Wow. All right. Verse 9 says, but I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving.
Ah, yes.
I will pay that I have vowed.
That's right.
Salvation is of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon dry land.
Come on now.
E. Boy, that's all right there.
That's all right.
That's all right. That's all right.
And so, right there, man.
Although Jonah had transgressed,
that's right.
He went against what the Most High commanded him to do, to go out and be a voice to the Israelites in Nineveh. That's a whole other topic right now.
Right, and it was actually, and this is the type of transgression where Jonah has an art with the Most High. He's not in agreement with what the Most High has told him to go do because of what he knows, or what he think he knows. And so it's amazing how the Most High deals with us according to, he's working things after the counsel of his own will. And sometimes it's all about his will. It's always, but in Jonah's, it's like, listen, you're gonna go do what I told you to do. Right. And I'm gonna give you some tribulation along the way. You're gonna be thankful in the process of getting to where and doing what I told you.
The crazy part, Jonah gonna tell them, listen, I guarantee this storm will stop. Just throw me off. They're like, wait a minute, man. We committed murder.
They knew. They said, "Oh,
they
something
knew.
wrong.
Something wrong,
bro. We done tread these
somebody on this boat.
Somebody
wrong, bro.
My goodness.
Somebody finna get stopped off today."
Yeah. And another thing I'll say for musicians, I remember Issachar was talking about how the sanctification that's happening in the awakening among the people of Yah. And he talked about how what's awesome about what's happening with the psalmists and the minstrels is that these people are like sanctifying themselves. Really. All right. They're coming out of the secular.
Yeah.
What Hashtain has in scripture, I forgot where it is, but it says put a distinction between the holy and the profane. And so Issachar was talking about how we're not going to have to worry about it in the awakening. Psalmists and musicians got the stick on their hand from last night.
Yeah, man.
Because they done been out in the clubs, and you got a lot of musicians out there they mercenary. They go to the highest bidder. Yeah. They play for 3 services on Sunday. They ain't trying to live right. They just getting that paper. Yeah. And so, but now the minstrels have to have a responsibility as well. We talked about singing, but the minstrels have a responsibility to be just as sanctified and consecrated, and to be able to release the sound that can bring forth deliverance. There's a sound that can bring forth deliverance. That was the sound that Israel had when it was in Jericho. The men would tremble when they heard Israel coming. They're like, oh, Lord, what's going on? And that's that sound that musicians can claim. The Most High give it to you. And so one of the things I like, one of the scriptures when Elijah, Jehoshaphat comes, and he inquired of a prophet.
Yeah.
And Elijah said, well, bring me a minstrel. Bring me a musician. Bring me someone. Hey, you better know you were riding with Elijah. You didn't have no stick on your head. He called you out. Well, Elijah, why don't you did last night? But the minstrel was able to release something in the atmosphere that Elijah had a word from the Most High. And so the sound that we carry when we're sanctified and set apart, it opens up the word, for the messenger. You know what I'm saying? And so I encourage, the musicians that we had on that night, a lot of them were talented musicians. I mean, these guys could play. We hadn't even rehearsed not one time together. And, they'll play the track, and before the track was over, the band was on it. But I was like, hey, he's going fast, boy. He's going fast, And so I think that was a beautiful thing. And as a musician, I always love to play with a band because it made playing easy. The sound was full in there. The first night, Mo and John, when we had little speakers in there, we were like, we in trouble now. But Mona went down there, boy, and went and found the sub from heaven, boy. Boy, that sound was loud in there. Yes, sir. But it was a clear sound. Well, it was that sound, but yeah, beautiful time, beautiful time, and I'm looking forward to. I think we still in unleavened bread, and then we got to count the Omer, right? Yeah. We're gonna count the Omer of 50, and we're gonna go into Pentecost. Now I want to highlight I think that was after the second night. After the second night,
that's right.
A few of the ox, myself, Benjamin, and brother Jason, and we got invited to kind of hang out at one of the sisters' houses. I think Sister Kim. Sister Kim. Beautiful home. Hospitality was off the chain. She put out a spread, boy. Listen here, look here, boy. We hey, listen. You had
they had brisket.
They had it all. They had salmon. I forgot. They had 2 flavors of salmon.
Now, mind you, this is after.
But it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
This is 2 o'clock in the morning after day 2. We get invited to the after party.
The after party. That's what it was.
We get invited to the after party. We go to the house. We walk up to the door. His folks praying.
Upper room.
Speaking in tongues.
Acts 2.
We walked up to the door like, should we go in there? We got the door. We looking through the window like, oh snap! They done started a fire up in there.
They had the intercessors in there, man.
I'm talking about the mothers was in there,
praying, laying over, encouraging, prophesying, stirring up the gifts, just breaking, weights. You know what I'm saying? Not sin, but the weights that so easily beset you. You know what I mean? And so when we finally got in there, I mean, everybody got ministered to.
Yeah.
Everybody got ministered to. It was such a sweet spirit in there. And I think what was the reason why because usually, I mean, anytime that you filming something, on the book of Acts, in verse 2, ain't nobody had no iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't think you had a scribe. Well, maybe they had. Maybe no. I don't think you probably had a scribe there.
Somebody had to be eyewitness.
Somebody had to be eyewitness. But on that night, there was no electrical interference, no devices, or anything like that.
I was tempted, but I was like, "What if somebody need to see this?"
Because, and the reason why I thought it was important to probably catch was because so many brews are against what the expression sometimes you see in Christianity. And all the, I mean, sometimes it is emotionalism. I'm gonna be honest now. Some stuff people just stop now. You get up. That's enough. But on this night, just it was such a sweet
purity of it.
It was pure. I know these people. You know what I'm saying? These people don't play.
Yeah.
That's right.
People don't play. I mean, the things that were happening were unprecedented. It was things that people had never experienced. No one tried to concoct this. No one was, I talked to Moray Josh about it. He was just saying, bro, I don't know what happened tonight.
Yeah.
They ain't really never happened to me like that. You know what I'm saying? And people begin to prophesy over each other's lives, begin to speak, begin to encourage. And, I mean, it was powerful. We began to sing songs of praise, songs of worship, songs of strength. And that went on for about, I don't know how long it was happening before we got there, but when we got there, it went on for about another hour and 15 to 30 minutes.
It was singing. I mean, you could see oppression. You could feel just the burdens that people came with in that room just lift off of them. I mean, Morris and Josh, they were encouraging the brethren.
That's right.
They were calling the brethren, come here, brother, and just embracing the brother. And you can see the weight just lift off of the brother. I mean, the anointing, the power of the Spirit of Yah was in the room. I mean, his ruach was there. It was the upper room for real. The mothers was there with the sisters. Man. They was there. Come on. It was awesome.
Benjamin.
Awesome. Huh?
His car grabbed you and prayed for you and spoke some words over you?
No, it wasn't me. Well, yeah, he did pray for me on the last day, matter of fact. He shout out to Issachar and his beautiful family. I'm headed out the door. My brother grabbed me and encouraged me, and he gave a word for the Berean Council, which was very powerful. But I just encourage all those that's watching, don't neglect what you know is from the Most High.
That's right.
You ought to run to those things that encourage. When the Most High is near, you ought to cleave to those things. Sometimes you don't exactly know, but hey, it talks about, I think in the Acts, that happily you feel after Him.
That's right.
If you go after Him, when call upon Yah while He is near, and so when you feel Him, and but other than that, man, after all that settled down, we grubbed and we ate, and they had
know one another.
3 o'clock in the morning.
3:30 we got done. 3:30, almost 4:45. Yeah, we stayed there and just teared in the presence, Aaron's beard.
Yeah, man.
Aaron's beard. That's
beautiful. and I'm not just only waiting on this to happen at a feast. I can see right now,
house to house,
this happening like right now. It's somebody that's probably in their house studying. Somebody's studying, and I can see eventually from house to house, this thing is gonna stir up.
That's right.
It's gonna stir up. So
Yeah.
but we ain't gonna hold you long, fam. We've been on here about an hour.
I see the family coming in, and shalom to everyone hanging in there in the late night.
Session.
I just definitely wanted to speak on behalf of the experience, Pesach, the appointed time, spring feast, and another thing, like, even after that, you still had people that was, they were nitpicky. You got the wrong date,
man.
It's the dark moon, it's the full moon, and so we, old famous preacher said, we understand it better by and by. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get there, and it's the intent.
There you go.
It's the intent of the heart. And we talked about how, Dawid, I don't know who told him to go get instruments and put them before the temple. I mean,
right.
There ain't no precept for that.
That's right.
You can go to the Torah, you ain't gonna find it.
That's right.
But Dawid had the heart of the Most High.
That's right.
Yes.
And when Most High come back, he gonna set up that order.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Matter of fact, the priest that redeemed us wasn't a Levi.
Right.
Now where that said in Torah? Only Levites could what?
That's right.
That's right.
But here we got someone of Melchizedek order.
Yahusha.
After the tribe of Judah, Yahusha. Bang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so there are moments in time where the Most High gives you His Spirit.
That's right.
And sometimes it ain't in the script.
Yeah.
But it's the heart of the Most High, and it's acceptable and it's pleasing.
Right.
That we go and eat the bread, eat the show bread. He ain't got no business in there.
Well, they miss, a lot of times in Israel's return, they didn't have it exactly like, but you saw them trying to return back.
Right. That's it.
First Chronicles 30, we see it during Josiah's reign, during Hezekiah's reign.
That's right.
You have the northern kingdom separated. Hezekiah sends letters and like, come on. They didn't celebrate the feast in the 14th day of Nisan.
That's right.
They celebrated the feast on the 14th day of the second month. Why? Because what they were trying to show the Most High was we're looking to return. Yeah. We're looking to return back to you, and the Most High blessed it.
That's what He did.
And so while people are trying to nitpick, or y'all got the dates wrong, or y'all got the timing wrong. Listen, some go by the full moon, some go by the dark moon. We understand the moon calendar, but one thing I can say It's getting closer and closer.
That's right.
We better today than we were yesterday. Hey, guess what? Hey, we ain't doing Easter no more. So I tell you that part right there. So while you still celebrate Easter and you not doing it at all,
we ain't doing it
you
at
got
all.
a people that is returning.
That's right.
And looking, and so while you still got your Easter egg hunt about to come up, and while you still got your your Christmas tree and all that, there's a generation that's returning back to the Most High Yah, saying, you know what? We may not have 100% right, but I know Yah is with us as we return. So, you know, that's
Easter, April Fool. You know some things.
Y'all stay encouraged, boy. I ain't gonna get started because boy, I have to take out a sword on jokers. Y'all doing Passover.
That's what I'm saying.
You're doing it in the land.
It's just too much information to stay ignorant.
No, bro, hold up. You mean to tell me because I come together to assemble with the nation to lift up praise to the Most High, I'm transgressing something.
Yeah.
Man, get out, boy. Get out of here, man. Get out. Don't even get me started, boy. Listen, any of y'all want that work?
And the thing is, they not even doing it at all.
They ain't doing nothing.
They saying
despising.
They back there judging. Oh, okay, you ain't got this right.
Yeah.
You ain't got this right. And the Most High like, look at my people. They turning back.
Yeah. Right.
And they looking like, oh, they ain't got the dates right.
What?
They ain't got the calendar.
No.
They ain't got this.
David's wife looking, and he naked and everything else.
Dang.
She just and you notice she ain't bring forth no child neither.
She was barren.
She was barren all her life. That's what I'm talking about, man. Be careful now. Be careful now. Thinking you got the right judgment.
Come the 20th of April, Negroes gonna be watching Bunny hop down the aisle.
My barbershop gonna be packed for haircuts.
And go on get them Nimrod
These
dollars.
jokers worried about the day. You not even trying to keep the Passover. You got a computer, a MacBook in your house, and won't even go research.
Boy.
Oh, Easter is asterisk. I'm doing paganism.
That's right.
But you want to come at it, they ain't got the day right.
Ain't gonna do it at all. You know, some people believe that you can't keep the feast because you're not in the land.
You're not in the land.
Right.
And we see that in the scripture, and I think it was in Numbers, right?
Yeah, Numbers 9. Joshua, man.
Numbers 5, where Joshua did the Passover in Gilgal.
Yeah.
Right outside of Jericho.
Yeah.
Right outside the borders.
You know, and so it's a lot of these things that people are trying to nitpick, and you know, they're trying to spot our liberty.
Yeah.
You know that we have, and so those are the Pharisees.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, that's trying to constrain you to their rendering or their understanding of the text, like they did with Yahshua.
But it's also that this position has always been among Israel, even in Egypt, where Moses is trying to encourage brotherly love and brotherly concern. Mm-hmm. You know, they strive against each other. They were like, well, who get you got the sons of Korah. Yeah. You know, like, well, Moses, why you get to be? Why the Most High speak to you? We priests too. Why can't you speak? Yeah. Like that those rumblings have always been something that has, you know, plagued us. But you know, we hey, this is bigger than, you know, your complaints. You know what the Most High is doing. He's going to all the gainsayers going to be addressed. You know, so
exactly. So man, Israel, you continue. I say everybody continue. There's something gonna be celebrating it in 2 weeks, based on the dark moon schedule. And hey, we all gonna return. We know in part. We prophesy in part. But when that which is full is come, everything, all this part is gonna be done away with. And when we see Him, we shall be like Him. We shall be changed. And so I believe that. And I'm just encouraging everybody, get out of Babylon. Come out of her.
Out of her.
Get out like the movie. Get out. Get out. And
don't stay in that sunken place.
I'm telling you, listen. And we're going to get on this when we get into, because we're coming out with a Christianity segment, because we know we got people that's like, what y'all talking about? Y'all not Christian. What y'all saying?
What you mean
so
you don't do Christian?
We got a whole segment that we're going to do on that to give an understanding of everything that is built that makes up Babylon. There was a time now when Most High had told His people, I want to prosper you in Babylon. But then He didn't let them stay there.
That's right.
He said, all right, now I want y'all to flee. Get out of here, because I'm about to destroy everything. That's so we're coming to that understanding. Where's the people? We're growing. You know,
That's right.
Don't knock everybody's head off unless they just want to be ignorant on purpose. You know, but be patient with people. We appreciate people that are patient with us, patient with me, patient with all of us, because we're family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And don't act like you've been a brew for 50 and some years. Well, you've been a brew, but don't act like you just had this understanding all the time.
Boy.
Some of y'all act like you know. But we all good, and we family.
Boy, hey man, you pressing buttons, boy. Go on, close it up, cause wow, boy. Woo.
And JT getting
Hallelujah.
Hey,
Yahuwah.
so family,
Glory.
you know, stay encouraged.
Say, count me.
We have the Passover celebration. We got Shavuot coming up. We got Tabernacles coming up, and all these things ought to be glorious celebrations.
That's right.
You know, we don't keep them in the oldness of the letter. We don't keep them with the ordinances and the things. We understand the ordinances were nailed to the cross of Yahushua, but our atonement is through Yeshua.
That's right. He is our Passover lamb.
He has become our Passover lamb.
That's right.
And because of what Yah has did for us, by Him, we can celebrate.
That's right.
We can take these moments and have celebrations. And so, y'all, our fam, we love you. Who's that? Velvet Welch. Shalom. Kennard King. Shalom. Shalom to all my fam. I know we've been on here a little minute. And so listen, y'all share this with your fam. Share part 1. We sorry we got cut off. This is part 2 right here. So make sure you share.
Benjamin, we're gonna put it on YouTube. We'll just leave it on.
We'll probably put it on YouTube. Yeah, probably put it on YouTube. But hey, y'all our family. We love you. We love our people.
Pray for one another. Provoke one another to good works. Set your face like flint. Hey, it's heating up now, y'all. You know, they, as Ron Dalton said, they are coming, but sanctify Yahuwah in your heart and be ready to give an answer unto all men. Hey, continue to, you know, be patient with your brothers, your sisters, your family members. I mean, you know, this walk is getting harder. It's getting hotter. But the scripture says, look up.
That's right.
For our redemption is drawn.
Like the song said, if Yah before us, who can be against us? Nobody.
Nobody.
All y'all boys still
nobody. Or you go hit that key. Oh, you know you like me.
These guys are crazy. These guys are crazy.
Nobody better like me.
Hey fam, make sure you share the video. Share this video. Listen, Berean Council, we got a lot coming up. Outrage, anything else to say?
Hey, ride this wave of momentum. You know, Passover signified our redemption. That's right. And so, you know, we should all the more be ecstatic and excited when we have these appointed times, because Yah is causing us to remember something significant about what He's done for us and what He's in with us in His covenant.
They singing it.
Hey, go ahead and grab your wife. Nobody.
So keep these things in your heart. Keep these things in your mind, and continue to remain in a posture of expectancy. Yes. You know, this thing is only going to build, and it's only going to grow, and we're going to see. I mean, hey, listen, the church, the modern day church, is scrambling right now. You know, they don't have to scramble. All you got to do is receive the love of the truth. But because you don't,
when you see the Levites and the priests,
and
they got the ark, you better move with it.
Yeah. But what's happening too at the same time is a strong delusion, just like it was in the day of the deception. Again, here it is once again that a door of utterance is being opened up. Right. The truth is going forward, and they're rejecting the love of the truth. Right. And so they're going to subject themselves again to a delusion and be damned. Right. And so as these appointed times continue to roll around, you know, be in a posture of expectancy, have an ear to hear. Yeah. That's right. What the Ruach is saying to us. Right. And not only hear, but obey. You know, don't be like that one that look into the perfect law of liberty and then straightway forget what manner of persons you were. Man, but be blessed by your walk in that obedience of what the Most High is saying through His Word. And these are unprecedented times. These are unprecedented times.
Matrix. Yeah, Jokers took the pill and coming out.
Yes, sir.
Then some of them is like, no, put me back in. I don't care.
I don't want to remember.
I don't want to. I want this oatmeal to taste like chicken. Just
we believe in believe in the Mashiach. Now I know that's always a concern to everybody. I don't never hear y'all say nothing about Jesus. All I hear is
Jesus.
Who y'all? Who that is? Who that is?
Y'all ain't say nothing about the resurrection.
Hamashiach.
Yeah, man.
Goodness, boy.
We understand. We understand.
And to my brews, just be relaxing because we got a joke like that because I know some see ya, you said JC and you curse. Like, really? Come on, man. Like, get
But not just
out of
that.
here.
But the thing is, you can't have one without the other.
That's right,
Where what we have come out of, they want to major in, it's all in Jesus. It's all in Christ. And it is. But you know what's all in him? His law, his commandments, his covenant.
Right.
That's in him
That's
too.
in him too.
And so you can't have Christ and not have his covenant.
That's right.
You can't have the covenant and not have Yahusha.
The law leads us to.
That's right.
It leads us to,
Somebody clap on that.
What you say, Benjamin? You can't separate it.
Yeah,
You can't
If
separate.
we try to separate it, like, well, I'm just with Jesus. Well, what do you think he sprang out of Judah? I mean, he is an Israelite.
He said, I came to bring salvation to Israel.
He told a woman, I didn't come for you. I came for the children of Israel. Now, we know he ended up coming for, his blood ended up being shed for the Gentiles as well.
many that will call on his name and believe and keep
clean.
righteousness. Yeah.
But do you know, I mean, when people say, I'm like, do you know who Yahushua was? Let's go back and read what kind of character this guy has.
That's right.
Like, when you go back and see what kind of man, this same Jesus, this same Yahushua,
That's right,
this
that's
same
right.
one, going to return.
Gonna return.
Like, no, I'm here for my father's people, my kin people.
That's right.
I'm here to gather the lost tribes. Come. That's
Because I remember one brother, he berated a pastor, Christian pastor, that sat down with you, Benjamin, and dared them. Like, how could you sit down and deal with these guys? These guys don't even believe they don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in the Savior. It's like, brother, what did you talk about? And so
it's just a lot of assumptions that's been made on Hebrew Israelites, and it goes back to what Morris was saying earlier. This is not a religion. Right. Hebrew Israelite, it's just your culture. You don't become Chinese. It's just who you are. You're not trying. People are making Hebrew Israelite because they're lack of understanding and because they're just going to YouTube. But no one's really doing an in-depth research and asking questions and talking to the people.
Well, and the construct you're under, that's one of the dynamics of it. Right. They got to put you in a category.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, so you Presbyterian. You have no problem with. You don't have no problem with all these other divisions that believe different.
That's right.
That's right.
You don't have. But then when someone just say, "Oh,
I believe what the book says."
I believe.
You trying to obtain righteousness through the works.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But we always there. We always there. We
we're gonna have a good session now. Y'all buckle in, boy. It's gonna be a good session.
We gonna do that Sunday.
We're probably gonna do it this weekend. We'll probably start part 1, and we're gonna get into it. Christianity in Babylon. So I want y'all to stay tuned. It's gonna be good, boy.
And we're gonna stay in the scriptures. Most of the people, see the Hebrew Israelites, they don't stay in the Bible. Are you sick? The Hebrew Israelites stay. That's ours.
Nah, they know the Hebrews stay in the Bible. They say you take it out of context.
Now we take it out of context. But I can look at Christianity celebrating their holidays versus the biblical. Don't get me started now. Hey, listen,
y'all finna get
I'm gonna say this now to all my Christian, to the ones that's out there that in Christianity. I'm gonna say this. Is the Bible a Christian book? I'm just gonna leave that right there.
He is gonna drop it on the table.
Drop that right there.
He gonna drop that what McCoy call it? The ammo?
Drop that mic.
I'm gonna lay that ammo on the battlefield.
All right, man.
We love you. All right, man. That's good.
Shalom, Shema Israel.
Yahuwah
Eloheinu.
I see Josh just made it back in. Hey, Josh, can you drop in real quick? Can you drop in real quick, Josh?
Yahuwah.
Josh, can you come in?
Josh, want to press the
400 years, anybody more? Go.
Oh man, try to get him on, man. Adam.
Hey, he got Decepticon, man. He need your auto.
You got the Android.
Need your Autobot, man.
Hey man, that 400 years Babylon. Listen,
he's having a try. Hold on.
That joint was
Fire.
it was hitting hard, bro.
Blazing.
It was hard. I ain't got to record.
Hey, we love you, Maritza. Shalom. Bless you.
Maritza.
Malachi.
Shalom. Malachi being kumbaya. We in the text.
Hey, I told,
hey, Yaakov got next.
we in the text. Yaakov got next. Got that voice like a warrior, boy.
Yeah, he got a voice of a warrior, boy.
Hey, tell him, Nay, that Android spirit. We got to get that out of Israel right there.
Try to see if you can do it now, Benjamin.
Hey,
Collins,
You there?
See, Collins did something before. Hold on. Let's see. Go up. Okay, wait. No, can't add you.
Can't add you, Doc. Go on to them settings.
yeah, man, you got.
Can't add you, man. I'm sorry, nobody.
You got the taste of the fruit, man. The apple. Won't taste and see.
Nah, can't
Oh man.
Hey, it was fun. It was fun being on here with y'all tonight. So we probably gonna upload this. Hey, L&L. Oh my boy. Hey,
L&L, you got an iPhone?
we rebuked that.
you gotta. Let's see. Go on and invite. Let's see if L is on there.
Let me bring L on. L.
Don't cut it off.
Man, why y'all going on Android? Y'all need to be delivered from that Apple
Oh my goodness.
Won't taste and see, my brother.
Oh my goodness, boy.
Can't taste no Android. You can taste an apple. Won't taste and see that Yah is good.
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
What L&L got?
Hold on, come on.
About to get on him. He ain't even showed up.
He dropped that.
Oh.
L like, nope. No deal.
L, you can't get on neither. What you got?
Oh my goodness.
Sister Price, what you working with? What you got? You got an iPhone?
Shine.
Sister Shine, what you got?
Woo. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Most High said Israel was the apple of his eye, right?
Not the apple.
That's right.
The apple.
You heard me?
Oh my goodness.
Team out. There you go, sis.
That person got the ruach right there. I just quickened right there.
You felt that one?
I felt that one in my shimmer.
Oh my goodness.
All right, fam, we about to get off.
Yeah, we off. We laugh.
Hey, we probably gonna upload this on YouTube. Hey, listen, share part 1 and part 2.
She said I have an apple by force. That's all right. If
Yeah.
y'all be forced. My people.
Josh, boy.
Woo.
Hey, y'all funny, man.
You can't go into battle with no Android now.
They fail you every time, boy.
Every time.
E came to my house, and when his Android, he forgot to charge it up before it died. And when it died, it never came back on. Remember that he read it? He act like he ain't know.
He knew about nobody.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Miss Paka.
All
Right, fam.
Shalom. Once
We
again.
love you.
We love you, fam. Make sure you share. Make sure you follow. Instagram. If you got Instagram, make sure you follow us on Instagram right now. Get your phone out and follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. And follow us on Periscope. And every social media outlet it is.
All right.
All right, fam. Much love.
Much love.
Shalom.
Shalom.